So, finally got around to seeing Sinners, and it wasn't actually that bad of a movie. So, when I see Michael B. Jordan, no matter the role, I remember two things. The cringe as fuck end line from Black Panther, talking about how white people are bad and how he should have died with his brothers on the ships. Saying that to another black dude in a fictional, technologically superior black ethnic monarchy, whose leader is decided on who wins a match of single combat, and somehow that didn't turn out to be like every other single African dictatorship and slum in Africa. So race-based whining from like a multi-millionaire actor with great genetics, six-pack abs, basically shut the fuck up. And like, who was also given a race-based role in a race-based movie, somehow, you know, created exactly for people like him. Oh, how progressive. Thanks, I hate it. And second, I think of the deaf lady relationship in one of the Rocky movies. And again, my mind just short circuits to, oh wow, much progressive, blah, blah, blah. My thoughts on him aren't, you know, entirely justified. Those two instances certainly are, but the rest of them aren't. Since then, you know, okay. Without Remorse wasn't a bad little action movie. It had a black woman superior officer who somehow maintained her position even though she was less competent than Michael B. Jordan. Much progressive. Don't, like, wouldn't she, I mean, maybe she's great in combat, you know, most black women are pretty great in combat outside of Waffle Houses and stuff like that. Who knows, maybe they don't tend to have the most emotional intelligence and patience, but they sure have the aggression angle covered, I guess. But yeah, okay, Without Remorse, it was actually a pretty good action movie. It had good action scenes. It was a bit John Wicky. Wasn't bad. I liked the whole IRA inspired, oh, he's in the prison and he's gonna make a fucking scene, so he turns on all the taps, wets his shirt and prepares to fight the cops. Like, something that the IRA would have done, or something out of Bronson. I appreciated that. The locking himself in the burning car to interrogate the guy, that was kind of cool. Like, it had cool action scenes in it. It just had that, like, no one is more narcissistic than black women, right? And no one is less competent than black women, if we're being honest. They're pretty fucking bad, right? Like, you've got that Harvard president lady who was awarded her position, and she was awarded it based entirely on the colour of her skin. she herself was like a plagiarist who plagiarized her thesis. And like Harvard doesn't have the best. Harvard presidents don't have the best track record. What was it? 2 of them were directly involved and flew to, Epstein's Island. 2 former Harvard presidents. So Harvard as an institution isn't impressive. I'd have a close look at whoever the Harvard presidents are. But basically, you've got two of them which flew to Epstein's Islands, so likely implicated in pedophilia. And then you've got another one who's a black woman who's incompetent and allowed Muslims to persecute Jews on campus and has a history of plagiarism. So, I mean, I didn't mean to take the tangent to shit on Harvard, but fuck Harvard. But anyway, back to Without Remorse. Pretty good. And that's all I have to say on Without Remorse. From there, we have Sinners. And I have to actually begrudgingly say, Sinners is actually quite good. I actually quite enjoyed it, like the setup. There were a couple of woke moments in it which nearly made me fucking vomit through my fucking clenched teeth. But yeah, it was good. Like it was authentic. It had strong cultural links. It had a really good theoretical, metaphorical setup with music being the conduit for sin, and all that sort of thing. And the serpent at the start, foreboding, implying free will from the Garden of Eden, and also corruption, because the serpent, offered the forbidden fruit. You can argue the forbidden fruit was the sexual relationship later on with the married woman. But look, had fucking very solid setup. The settings and the characters are obviously all black because it's in a black area, but look, that's fine. It's not the enforced diversity of something like a black short-haired lesbian Iron Woman who has a line in the trailer of "I want to create something iconic." Iconic, meaning perceived, image-based, superficial. There's none of the Tony Stark, guilt over creating weapons used by Muslims and Bosnians on civilians. There's none of Iron Man's guilt or redemption or responsibility for the weapons, or character arc across the MCU, taking on more and more responsibility and guilt, being hurt more and more by it, going for the Accords, restricting superheroes to government, and ultimately sacrificing his life to thwart Thanos. There's no multi-movie arc there. It's just like a shallow narcissistic black woman who was given a position in the university, because of diversity. And I think there's some sort of plot in there about her selling her soul to some sort of devil thing for power, Mephisto or something like that. Okay, that's the way you want to go about it. Absolutely corrupting the heroic ideal and installing a horrible diversity character that's shallow as fuck, that has no heroic values or anything like that. It's a fucking mess. It's absolutely fucking vile. But, go for it. Enjoy your black short-haired lesbian Iron Man, I guess, whatever. But, that in itself is also pretty fucking inexcusable. Okay, you're given the black lady the Iron Man skin suit to wear. It's too narcissistic and shallow and progressive to have a proper character arc. And she's already perfect according to the writers. And she has a line in the trailer that betrays her narcissism and superficiality. I want to create something iconic. She says, well, wearing Iron Man's skin and complaining about how Iron Man was white and was given everything because he was white. The irony being, in this day and age, the only reason why there's a short-haired black lesbian Iron Woman was that she ticks the progressive racial boxes of she's black and she's a woman. Like the whole... Fuck that shit. Fuck Ironheart. That's fucking bullshit. Fuck off. Like, all of what she is just a stereotype based on like a skin color. It's like the quintessential shit leftist Marxist plot of like enforced diversity. Ugh. And as much confirmation bias and hate I have for leftists and Marxists and progressivism as I have, I still appreciated Sinners compared to shit like that. So why is it good? Sort of already delved into it. It has soul and it feels authentic. It has like good structure. It has great structure at the start. It uses flavor from like real life, sort of from real life, you know, slavery atrocities to create like a lived-in setting. It uses blues, a beloved part of black culture, pretty respectively up until the point that almost made me vomit. It uses that well, as opposed to wearing it like a skin suit. And it kind of eventually devolves into like a From Dusk Till Dawn, which is I kind of appreciate it at a certain bit where it's just a siege with vampires. So what do I mean by like when I say authenticity? Like right off the bat, it's two gangster brothers who sort of influence and take along a preacher's son. They're acting as sort of a corrupting influence on the preacher's son. Who's their cousin. This cousin's like really good at blues, and obviously blues gains its authenticity through pain, and music and dancing is a conduit for sin, loss of inhibition, sin, just like eating like forbidden fruit and that. That metaphorically is brilliant, and it's like the title for Sinners. One of the first things they come across after they take on the cousin is a snake. They encounter a snake in the back of a truck, and it nearly bites the cousin. It's obviously serpent, corruption, and all of this works together absolutely fucking brilliantly for the setup. So it chugs along. It eventually gets to the two black gangster brothers are opening up what is essentially a club, and they're inviting all the blues singers and everything to go there. The blues singers themselves are played by great old actors. I know the actor's face. I don't know his name, but he's been in a bunch of great movies. He's a great black actor. He portrays this old alcoholic blues singer. And there's just a moment in the car where he perfectly portrays how important pain is for the blues when he's talking about one of his friends that gets lynched, and it immediately sort of breaks into like a harmony. Like, absolutely brilliant moment in the movie. Absolutely appreciate it. But when they start singing, it fucking fucks up. It fucks up so bad. It stumbles, and it open mouth hits its teeth on bricks, and it scrapes down a wall. It tries to equivocate the culture of the blues and R&B and rhythm and soul and all that stuff from black culture back in the day with current day Democrat influenced horrible rap shit. I fucking hate it so much. It's like, in itself, it's sort of like an unironic statement about the complete corruption of black culture by Democrat policy through food stamps and all that sort of thing. Like, it lost all of its authenticity and soul, and it became rap, bitches, booty, twerking, all that sort of shit. The crowd, when they're like listening to the music, are twerking, like, oh, I fucking hate it so much. It tries to like equivocate the blues with that, and it's It's the worst thing I've fucking seen. It spoils the setup so much. All of this authentic, brilliant character setup, and then it just shits the bed and it just rolls around in it. By like, during the music, moving from rhythm and souls to like current day black to try and imply some sort of continuity of culture with black culture to current day rap and that sort of thing. Oh, absolutely fucking foul. I hated it. So after that, trip and fall like a toddler, landing really bad and breaking its arm. The movie lost. It went from like probably an 8 or a 9 out of 10, just in terms of brilliant setup and execution and cinematography and everything like that. Went from like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 to like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. But that's alright, because it manages to recover some of its points with the introduction of the vampire character, Remick, who's just like this. He's like an Irish sort of nomad, and he's lost his family, and he just appears to be moving from place to place, probably getting persecuted because he's a vampire, correctly persecuted because he's a vampire, and he kills people, he turns them into vampires. But he's like an outcast, and it works so well because all the black people are outcasts from society in this time and age. And he's white, and they're like wary of him, and even a little bit racist towards him because he's like also an outcast. But they can also sense there's something wrong with him. But like, since he's like an old-fashioned vampire, he can't get into the club unless he's invited in the club, and that rule holds for all of the rest of the vampires. It then has like this big, like, so Remick starts infecting people and forming his own sort of outcast circle of his own, but weirdly with Irish culture, and they all start singing Irish songs. So there's some sort of shared painful history with the Irish, who were also persecuted in that time, and especially during like the Great Potato Famines and all that sort of thing. The IRA, the English coming in, persecuting people based on which branch of Christianity they follow, and all that sort of thing. He forms his own sort of circle and does this awesome Irish singing, which like feels also culturally relevant and authentic. Like, the movie does capture a lot of its blues and the Irish singing authentically, but it fell on its fucking neck and broke its own neck when it tried to equivocate blues with current day rap, which, you know, destroyed the black family in it, and like glorifies, you know, crime and drug dealing and not having a father in the household and bitches and all that sort of thing. Like, it sort of did that, and to imply that has to be a part of black culture is, I find that incredibly racist, insulting towards black people for that. Like, black people are just people. They can be people like us. They don't need to be part of this fucking gangster culture or whatever. Yeah, like, they can just be part of Christian Free West. Like, anyway. Like, also another issue I have with the movie is the reason why the vampires in folklore need to be invited into the home is because of Christian psalm protecting the homes. The reason why vampires are afraid of images of the crucifix of Jesus is because demons are usually afraid of them. Absolutely terrified of Jesus, absolutely no match for God, have no power when it comes to Jesus or God. They have complete authority over them. The movie doesn't, like, the movie has they have to be invited in shtick, but then Remick can laugh at God and Christianity and all that sort of thing. It's inconsistent when it comes to vampire folklore. and I don't appreciate that. That's not great. That just comes off edgy, modern day Marxist atheist. Just disregarding Christianity, disregarding Christian common law, disregarding Christian ethics. The thing that created our whole society. Well, to be edgy and to deny white people their culture. Like in a movie that's about glorifying the culture of peoples, the Irish people and black people, let's say, they then deny Christian white culture. Like, okay. You're being inconsistent. A little bit of the anti-white racism is showing, I guess. And then after that, I think they balls up the arc a bit. After all that, after the vampires are vanquished or flee or burn in the sun at, dawn, at the breaking of the new day, they then have the preacher's son not turn back towards Christianity after encountering what theoretically, at least mythologically, should be a representation of demons or the devil. He goes along on his own way and just pursues his own music, which, okay, I guess. I don't really like it as a character arc because it's just sort of being an edgy cunt atheist after an encounter with the devil. Like, you encounter a demon or the devil, you would turn to Christianity more strongly. Like, he's only not doing it because the writers are edgy atheists, and Remick wasn't even a real devil. He was just a vampire, and he just wanted to belong in his own place, sort of thing. Like, it doesn't really work for me how they tied it up and how they disregarded the mythology around the vampire, the reason why the vampire, like, they used aspects of the vampire that directly relate to Christianity, which is white culture, but and then they kind of shit on it. Like, okay, you want me to respect your culture, you want me to take modern day black culture, which is a fucking absolute travesty. It's an absolute moral travesty of a thing that's happened. Especially when it comes to rap and gangster culture and the whole peacocky, standoffish way black people fight white people and take disrespect and end up in prison and all that sort of thing. You want me to take all that, tie that to early black culture, which was mostly Christian, their formation of rhythm and blues, which was absolutely brilliant, culturally rich, authentic, good music, and you want me to say the linear progression of that is current day black culture, which is absolutely fucking dog shit and detrimental to any society it's going to go into, and then you deny white culture, white Christian ethics, white Christian free Western culture, and its ability to hold evil at bay. In fact, the only white people in the movie, besides the girl from True Grit, is the fucking KKK that show up and then get machine gunned down by Michael B. Jordan. Like, okay, alright, so whiteys are only evil. Irish are okay because they were also oppressed, and black people are oppressed. Like, it's not nuanced with it, and like, yeah, and it started so strong too. But like, ultimately it just kind of winds up being a little bit of a victim narrative, and it just attempts to rob, white people of their culture. Yeah. Hey, look, start strong, pretty good structure to it, especially at the beginning. Devolves a bit, then it sort of turns on white people. Kind of expected it to happen, honestly. Michael B. Jordan movie. That's, black centric. Alright. Look, probably worth a watch. Probably worth a watch. Just to see, a bit of classic cinema. That was the norm back in the day, but, these days. Oof. Yeah. It's quality there for a while. It's alright. It's worth a watch. Give it a watch.
God damn it! The hell with you!